Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Keefe. In today's video, I wanted to talk to you about the 5 biggest lessons that I've learned so far in 2020. Now, before we get into that, I made this channel to build better men. So if you're a guy who's out there looking to improve his life and become a high-value man, hit the subscribe button and bell icon. I put out new videos every single day to help you do exactly that. Also, guys, I quickly wanted to announce that a few new spots have opened up in my Better Man coaching program. I've put together a web page where you can learn more, and I explain in detail what the program's about. If you want to learn more about the program, see if it's a good fit for you, you can click the link in the description box below to learn more about it. So let's get into the video. So the first big lesson I learned in 2020 was to be patient. And when I talk about being patient, I'm not talking about procrastinating or being satisfied with mediocrity or just not taking action, right? I'm talking about being patient, just understanding that good things take time. You see, in 2019, for those of you who've been watching my channel for a while, you know in 2019, I kind of had to rebuild myself. I had to tear a lot of the dead wood off and basically just build a new person from the ground up in a lot of ways. And in doing so, what had led me to that point had cost me a lot of my self-confidence. And because of that, I don't think I had that faith in the future that if I just stick with something, it's going to work out. And so with that said, I was always aiming for a home run. I was always trying to go get the big thing, but I wasn't willing to be patient with it. So if something, I was always expecting things to go badly. And because of this, I just could never wait on anything and nothing would ever pan out. And because of this, towards the beginning of 2020, I started to learn and remember that you just got to stick with something and have that confidence, have that faith that things will work out if you just keep putting in the work every single day. Be consistent, right? Part of this, like I said, it comes down to, rather than always needing the home run, needing everything to be exactly how you want it to be right now, just get on base. Just start with that. Just like, let's take the next step that gets me closer to my goal while keeping in mind the goal itself. The second one I've got on here is embracing challenges. I had seriously some of the most fun of my life during this coronavirus lockdown that happened earlier this year. And so many people were complaining about, oh, we're out of jobs and you can't do this and yada. And they were so focused on the things that weren't exactly how they were used to it being when life was comfortable. But now there was a little bit of discomfort added. And I found that internally, I just rose to the challenge and I had a great time with this. And it really taught me this lesson about what it means to be a man and how I think there's a part of us that does truly step up when is required. And in this moment, my gym was closed, so I had to be resourceful. I went to the hardware store, bought sandbags, and I put together basically a makeshift workout kind of gym thing. And I would take it to the turf field and I would get a workout in doing it that way, right? I had to be resourceful. I had to feel like I was going up against an obstacle. At the same time, I had a lot of time to focus on my YouTube channel and I focused on it. And what happened was it was the first time my channel actually started to pick up some speed. And so really in this moment, I figured out that the outside circumstances don't really matter. And if there's a big challenge that occurs, use it as an opportunity, right? The obstacle is the way. See it as an opportunity to prove who you are as a man, to go up against challenge. This is what men have been doing since the beginning of time. And we've been living in such easy times that we avoid conflict. We avoid challenges. We avoid obstacles. Understand that that's where you're going to test yourself and prove who you are. And that's where you're going to build your self-confidence. And so don't shy away from challenges that show up in your life. The third one on here is to focus on the process, not the outcome. This is similar to being patient, right? But understand that a cliff face gets eroded by the ocean over thousands and thousands of years, right? The waves just keep smacking the rock, and if you look at it, it looks like nothing's happening. But if you put on a time-lapse camera over hundreds of years, you would start to see the rock face start to erode. And this is really what your life is like, right? It's that compounding effect of just consistently doing work, focusing on the process. And what happens when you focus on the process is rather than maybe you've got a big goal and you're caught up on the goal itself, and when you're caught up on that goal, it's really easy to get discouraged because you don't feel like you're there yet and you're goal focused, so you don't recognize that actually taking the actions to get to the goal is a part of achieving the goal. Merely by the fact of I want you to really get this into your head because this is so key. If you decide on a goal and then you start taking actions towards it, the very fact that you're taking the actions towards the goal shows that you're achieving the goal, because you wouldn't have taken those actions had you not decided on the goal. So start to see the process as the achievement of the goal, not the outcome itself. And once you start to get this into you, it becomes a real momentous effect. It becomes very easy to keep taking actions because you see the constant improvement occurring. Your self-confidence goes up. It's really hard to be discouraged when you're consistently moving forward bit by bit, and then one day you look up and realize the entire goal has been accomplished. Guys, if you're getting something out of this video, go ahead and give me a like and leave me a comment and tell me what the biggest lesson for you was in 2020. I'd love to know the answer to that. And let's get back to the video. The fourth one on here is to be slow to trust people and be quick to forgive people, okay? I think most people do this the opposite way, right? We're so quick to trust somebody. We want to talk to them about our problems, or maybe it's a girl and we're quick to assume that this girl's wifey material, right? Because we really want her to be. And then something bad happens and we don't forgive anybody, right? And this is the opposite way of how you should do things. You should understand that just like you, most people really are fuck-ups, right? We got a lot of issues, we got a lot of things we're not proud of, and we got a lot of things we aren't willing to admit about ourselves to ourselves, right? And so with that understanding, you got to realize, like, it's nothing personal to anybody, but you just can't let everybody get near you, right? They need to be people who are directly helping you move towards your goals, who are positive, who you can trust in situations, right? Those are the kinds of people that you let near you. Those are the kind of people you can count on. Now, the reason that most people have so many disappointments in their life, and I'm one of these, is because they're so quick to assume that everybody deserves their time. Whether it be a girl, whether it be a friend, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, they assume people are worth their time, and then they get burnt, and then they hold these grudges. But in reality, if you had just probably looked at the person and been patient, you would have recognized that the person probably wasn't someone you wanted close to you. Also, when it comes to forgiving somebody, this is a selfish thing, to be honest, because if you don't, you hold this grudge and it starts to determine the way you see the world, right? Like, let's say a girl treats you bad in a relationship. She cheats on you, something like that. And then for the next 5-10 years, you're walking around holding this grudge about it, talking about all women are sluts and I never trust them and life's just cold and hard and all this crap. If you just forgive them and realize she's one person, she's not every woman on the planet, maybe you could find that there's actually higher quality people out there, right? It's the same with your friends. If a friend backstabs you, it doesn't mean every other person on the planet is going to backstab you. So you need to forgive so you can get that off your chest, for one thing. And also forgive just because you need to be forgiven too, because you're going to fuck some shit up as well, right? So again, let's say you get into a situation like you jump into a relationship with a girl, you trusted her way too fast, and then she does something bad. Like, at the end of the day, that was your fault for jumping into the situation. And then let's say that somebody, maybe you realize really quickly, because you're being patient and you're not trusting somebody immediately, you're not letting people get close to you immediately, and you're just figuring out who people are, you're going to find that they're going to do things that are going to show you, okay, this isn't the kind of person I want to spend my time with. Maybe they just aren't aimed in the right direction. Or maybe, like, I hear them talking crap about their other friends, so why would I want them near me? Things like that. And in this, you don't judge them, you forgive them. Because everybody, again, needs this forgiveness. And you just accept people as people and realize we're all figuring this thing out. And unless you really like what is it, the saying, don't worry about the thorn in somebody else's eye, worry about the log in your own. That's the truth, right? We've all got things we need to focus on in ourselves. And I'm somebody who's typically very judgmental of others. So this was a hard lesson for me to learn, to just accept and forgive people for being people, right? At the end of the day. So make sure the people that come near you, that whether it be relationships, friendships, whatever it is, make sure that you vetted them to make sure they're worth your time. And then when they get there, if they screw something up, forgive them for it, and forgive the people who weren't worth getting close to you as well. The fifth one is that life will reward you if you're on the path. I firmly believe this. I am so confident in this. If you simply just almost take a trust fall with God or life, the universe, whatever you want to call it, do like one of those trust falls. That's basically what you're doing. If you just go out and do, you'll be met halfway. I really believe this, right? Things will start to happen that you don't quite understand, but they will work for you. It's really like the Sermon on the Mount in the Bible. Jesus says he says, focus on the good, basically. Focus on God and let everything else work itself out. So basically the idea that is, if you're focusing on your highest good, if you're focusing on making things right, if you're focused on the truth, then everything else will work itself out. So try applying this in your life, right? Where you're scared to take a chance on something that really is valuable to you, that you see as your future. Go take that chance. And you know what? Just let things happen, right? Have that trust that something out there will basically catch you on your trust fall, because that's what you're doing if you're stepping in the unknown. You're trusting that things are going to work out, and I firmly believe that if you do this, the more you do it, the more you'll be rewarded. Now guys, if you got something out of this video, go ahead and give me a like so I can reach more guys through the algorithm. Hit the bell icon and subscribe button so you don't miss new videos, and be sure to check out the Better Man Coaching Program if you're interested in learning more about that. I'm also going to put another video right here that I think you'll like to watch as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.